So good morning, this is my quiz in sequence. So let's start with my name, Lucas, then focus quiz number 2, and then my program name is quiz 2. And then we're going to make it a structure of the main menu. So first we're going to make the variables for the choosing a letter. So x value, and then for the choose variable, then we're going to pick say 3, and then we're going to leave this blank for the variables for the problems. So let's start with um uh, ma- uh, programming the main method. Excuse me. So let's say loop for the function. We're going to make the function loop quiz 2, and then we're going to perform until 1 is greater than 1, and then we're going to perform the function, let's say lab main. Okay, so let's end or stop, run. Okay, so next we're going to make uh the function, our function for our main menu. So lab main, then display quiz number 2 sequence, then spacebar for every um oops. Next is for the problems, display a if so the first problem is the volume of a sphere, then oops, space bar, then display next problem is the solving for converting kilometers per hour to miles, and then space bar, then display next problem. See last problem is quotient and remainder. Then space bar, then the last selection is the exit. Okay. Then we're going to display our selection. Enter your choice. Okay, then no advancing, then accept choice. It's the spacebar, two spacebar for it. Okay, so we're going to make the if statement for the selection. If choose is equal to A, then perform, let's say I'm gonna name the first function for the volume of the sphere vol sp. Okay, perform, then and if, then so let's start programming the first function, vol sp. So in this program, we're going to make first the variables for our volume, for solving the volume of the sphere. So in volume of the sphere, we're going to input the radius. So first we're going to uh, define first the rad example, then we're going to so in solving the volume where the radius uh, is needed in solving the volume of a sphere. So we're going to need a um, decimal points here, and then let's say for solving the volume, say vol, variable vol, and then 3, then uh, let's say here, and then solving for so in we need to pass or move the variable in in order to eliminate the zeros, and then to display the correct decimal point. So rad, let's say rad x, then pick x 3 9 9 3, and then for the removing the zero variable, pick z3, then 9 3. Okay, then same for the volume, pick z3 9.9. Okay, so okay, so let's start with um solving for the SP. Okay, so display, so going to display, enter a radius, no advancing for to make it straight line, accept. So we're going to accept the x first. So we're going to move rad x to rad, and then we're going to move the rad variable to rad z, because we're going to remove the zeros, and then we're going to compute the formula. All equals, so in computing the volume, we're going to compute the volume for 4 divided by 3 times radius, then times the cube root of the times I mean pi, 4 divided by 3 times pi, and then the cube root of the radius. So times pi 3.1415 9265. Okay, then the radius. So this is how we cube root in COBOL. So that's okay. After we are done in computing, let's move the volume variable to vol z to eliminate the zeros. And then we're going to display the volume of the sphere is, okay, volts. Okay, and then, okay, so after we are done there, so let's try and see if it is working. Okay, for a while. Okay, let's try. Okay, letter A. Okay. Oh, so there's an error. There's an error. Login choice. Okay, let's say this is a alphanumeric, but a number. Mhm. Okay, let's start again. Okay, so yeah, we're going to input the radius of a sphere. Let's say 5. So the correct answer for the volume of the sphere is 520.59. So it is functioning, and um, let's go to the next. Okay, let's say this is let's create a quit function for quitting. Stop, run. So if we choose B, then perform quit, then end. Okay, so this is for um this is for the quitting in our program. Okay, so let's go to another okay, equals. So let's go to the next problem. So next B, convert kilometers. So if it's equal to B, then perform, let's say um kilometer, okay, km to me, okay, kilometer to meter, go 4 mile, miles, and then if, okay, next. So we're going to make a function again for km to me. So next is the solving for converting for the kilometers to miles per hour. So display first we're going uh to input the variables first. So in this problem, we're going to input the kilometers, and then we're going to divide it by 1.609. So first we're going to make the variable kilometer, and then pick 93. And then next, for the result, for example, is equal pick 9. Uh, so this is a decimal, so we're going to make our variables in a decimal form. Okay, next, and then for eliminating the oops, for removing the zero, so result z, so pick 9 z, then 9 3 3.99. So I choose to make it 2 decimal point for every problem. So we're going to start with our statements. So enter kilometers per hour. So okay, and no advancing, and then accept. We're going to accept the kilometer. Oops. Kilometer variable, and then we're going to compute result equals kilometer divided by the 1.609, and then we're going to move. So in order for us to remove the zeros, so remove the result to result z. Okay, and we're going to display miles per hour. Okay, then result z. Okay, so let's try and see if there's an error, or okay, it's good. There's no an error. Then kilometers. So we need to enter the kilometers per hour. For example, 3. So the miles per hour is kilometers per hour. And then we convert it into miles per hour, which is 1.86. Okay. So let's exit. Next, the last problem. Then let's see if choice is equal to C, then perform the last problem is quotient and remainder, so co-rem, let's say co-rem, then end if. Okay, so in order to let's start first, we're going to start first naming the variables. So in getting the quotient and the remainder, so we're going to need two numbers, the dividend and the divisor. So for example, num1 9 3, then num2 say, and then the variable for the remainder, I mean remainder. Okay, and then so the total quotient for, or the result for getting the quotient of the two numbers. So this is the variable to total and then pick 93. So we're going to eliminate also the zeros, or removing the zeros, the total q z. Okay, then z3. Also we're going to eliminate the zeros for the remainder. Rem z. Okay, pick z3. Okay, so we're done in the naming the variables for our last problem. So we're going to make a function and then in the statements. So our name, function name, we call rem, then display, we're going to display the enter. First, we're going to enter the dividend, and then no advancing to make it straight, or no break line, and then accept. We're going to accept num1, and then let's next is the divisor. Enter divisor. And no advancing. Let's go accept num2. Next is we're going to compute the quotient. So I'm going to use the variable divide, or the function divide. Num1, divide num1 by num2, giving the total quotient. And then the remainder, if there's a remainder, rem. Okay, so let's remove the zeros, total q. Let's move q to uz. Okay, then let's move the rem variable to rem z. Okay, let's display the quotient is, so total z, because we eliminate the zeros, and then we're going to display the remainder. So I inputted this another code, which is if statement. If there's an if there's no remainder, so it will display there is no remainder. So let's put, so if statement, if rem is 0, then display there is no remainder. Okay, so bracket. Okay, so let's try and see if it's working or there's an error. Okay, compilation is succeeded. So quotient, so enter the dividend, for example 10 and then 5. Okay, so the remainder is 0, so there is no remainder because 10 divided 5 is 2. There's no remainder. So let's try again. Dividend, for example 15, and then So the quotient is 3, and then the remainder is 3. So this is how we solve the quotient and then the remainder of a problem. So exit. So this is how we look in main menu, the three problems, which are the volume of sphere, convert kilometers per hour to miles per hour, and then the quotient and remainder, and then the lastly the exit. So here's my piece. Thank you.